They'll be calling you radical. This is a historic, really important video. So really important. So we're going to talk, is Trump the new sheriff tariff? Is he a closet socialist? Absolutely. Economic socialist, big time. This is so important. This is historic. Where, how, when, and who's doing this video. Why? David O. McKay education, which I knew personally really well. Socialist? Oh yeah, big time. Communist? Oh yeah, big time. So let's talk about this. Peter Navarro, he's Trump's guy. Peter Navarro is a San Diegan, like me. I grew up here and in San Diego. The property at Old Town, the statue there, that our family goes back to 1847 in San Diego. So Peter Navarro was a well-proclaimed socialist. He ran as a socialist. He ran for mayor as a socialist in San Diego in 1991. Now I know him personally. I was a professor here at the #1 school of business in the United States. Now this is the school that built the reactors at Fukushima, Japan. The General Electric, because the executives have been arrested in Brazil today. This is a major story. So this is big day. Now tariffs, Alexander Hamilton, the Tariff Act of 1791, before the Bill of Rights, which Hamilton, I can sing and dance. What's a tariff? I'm a butcher, what's a cow? I'm a baker, what's a cake? I'm a carpenter, what's a hammer? I'm a plasterer, what's a hawk and trial? I'm an AML leukemia fighter, what's spirituality? What's speed juice? What's love of the Pacific Ocean, fighting for the ecology? I'm an environmentalist, what's Fukushima? So, let's stay with me. I know him personally. He ran as an independent for mayor. I worked on his campaign. It was an anti-growth. He used to use the same quote that I used to use. Edward Abbey on this campus said it. Growth for the sake of growth is the ideology of cancer. So we were Hamiltonians here in the 90s. Clyde Cooley, the #1 finance professor in the country at the time, got mad cow in 1990. Right as we got the MBA program. I was on Wall Street in those days. I had my plasmid. I go back and forth. I did a lot of work right here. Kyle Madsen asked me to take over the program. I agreed to do it. Kyle Madsen got cancer and died. Now they're Chinese oligarchy. We were the #1 test in the country 9 consecutive years when I taught here. They blackballed me. They went up there. They stripped all my degrees because of my anti-nuclear statement. Remember, this is pro. Now they rank 512 out of 520. Do not go see the Dalai Lama. That's the professor that's writing there right now today. They're all Chinese oligarchy. They're outscored. They doubled their size. They got rid of all of us. Not just me. This didn't just happen to me. So Navarro, I know him personally. Well-known, proclaimed socialist. Not a communist. Communist is very different. Communism. The Mormons were communism in Old Town San Diego. Not communism. You've been hijacked into thinking that the Soviet Union in the 1970s was communism, which was militarism. All the redistribution went to militarism, looted out by defense contractors, blah, blah. Sound familiar? Totalitarianism, which, socialized the fucking losses, capitalized the gains. Putin, the new czar, fucking Czar Putin. So stay with me. He ran on a no growth incentive, which he was right, by the way. He was right. They've ruined San Diego. 50 million tourists down there. San Diego was a gem until recently. I'll be back there soon, working some more work on the San Onofre. And again, this ties in because Jerry Brown's emails, which I have them. I've read you Hillary's emails online, all the cover-up. I told you what happened inside the situ. I took so much risk for doing all that. I climbed up on the statue, did exactly what this woman did yesterday. I didn't get any media when I did that. With my Russian hat on, my 1916. The Russians have occupied the White House. This is before the election was stolen. Which election? Which election got stolen? So Peter Navarro, now this is real important. Let me hopefully I can get this. I mean, God, I have to try to do 10 things at once. I can do it. I'm very capable. Fighting cancer, surviving cancer. Stay with me, maybe. Let's see if we can get this. So, I know him personally. He's a professor. He's a fantastic professor. He was one of the last of the Mohicans. Now, is Trump a socialist? This is important because this happened today. This Littlefield, the CEO is the Waters', that's his grandson. Stay with me. San Diego, San Francisco, as I do that work at the moment. The Phyllis Wattis moment, Brigham Young's granddaughter. Yeah. The fucking Mitt Romney died. David O. McKay they've been hijacked. So, it's San Diego boy. So, Trump is an incredible enigma. I mean, socially, he's as awkward and backwards and racist as they fucking get. I mean, he's a mess. He's a total fucking, I mean, this guy is some kind of fucking freak show that way. He's beyond sickening in so many ways. Stay with me. The cover-up of Fukushima, these arrests down there are a major story. That's one of the, as I expose the 32 team, I'm one of the guys, Landers Peak right here, the video, the painting at Landers Peak in the New York City Metropolitan. I'm sitting there just waiting for some people at the Helen Caldecott Symposium, including Noam Chomsky. I'm waiting for Noam, who I know personally. We're waiting, and a guy reaches up and touches Landers Peak, and he touches one of the natives. I freak out and go crazy. He sees my shirt. He says, "Oh, you're Kevin Blanche," he says. "You're Kevin Blanche." Yeah. One of his team, 32 team. And he went out, the fight erupted, then another guy came, he was from MIT, we're here for the opera, the cover-up of Fukushima, it got really heated. In there, Ackerman come up and fucking break it up, the panty painters. So, Navarro, back to Navarro. Is Navarro a socialist? Yeah, absolutely, well freaking established socialist. He's one of the greatest socialists in the history of mankind. So in my class right here, I used to say, students, #1 MBA program in the United States, it would have been. Clyde Cooley, I mean, what timing? He gets fucking mad cow and dies. I used to say, class, these are smart fucking kids, most of them Japanese, that's how I got so much information from Japan. I went to school, there was only 17 of us that graduated in that elite program the year I graduated. Name the greatest socialized people in the history of mankind, the strongest middle class in the history of mankind. Silk Road, you know, India, 1st century, 2nd, Norway, 20 years ago, 50. No, United States of America, 1945 to 1979. Increasing nominal wages, unarguable. One parent working 40 hours a week, plenty of fucking money, fucking 2-hour week pay, fucking healthcare, everything, fucking socialism, labor had power. So, Navarro knows all this. He's a fantastic professor. Irvine Cove. He's a socialist. I know him from San Diego. I supported his campaign. He almost won, by the way. He ran as an independent. And he is I mean, the guy gets it. So the tariffs that are going in place in China, this has nothing to do with the Chinese, well, it has everything to do with the Chinese. This is China. Do not go see the Dalai Lama supply chain. The people in China are being enslaved. Now, I like it how the Mormons used to call the communists under the moral issue. So, Abraham Hunsaker the first is the Old Town guy. Yeah, Abraham Hunsaker the fourth, my grandfather. The third worth hundreds of millions of dollars, billions probably by today's standard. That's the guy who found the gold at Sutter's Mill. The Comstock fucking around. My grandpa had 3 girls. I'm the Old Town guy. I mean, but they didn't believe in inherited wealth. I didn't inherit anything. They required us to know a trade by the time we were 16 years old. I learned to plaster from them in Old Town. You know, I got 10,000 jobs on this freaking, including the Sealing and the Browning Centers here. The tree in the Children's Museum. I mean, restored the 1905 Masonic Temple. That's the irony of it. Which is, where did the ethics department go at Weber State University? The number one, gutted. I'll show you where it went. So, Navarro's a socialist. Fantastic professor, by the way. He ran on the anti-growth campaign, Stop Growth in San Diego. They're going to ruin the coastal community, which they have. 50 million tourists. He was right. Too bad he didn't win. So what do we export from China? What do we export from China? What do we export? The United States. What is China going to retaliate? You see the trade imbalance? I remember right here, I was standing right there in 1994. And when Bill Clinton, Walmart Clinton signed NAFTA, I felt like I've been gut shot. I've been going back and forth from New York. I was on Wall Street working for a major hedge fund that we did stuff for the Lung Association, we did for cancer things, we did very safe stuff. We rolled puts underneath high dividend yen stocks trying to protect. We did a lot of work on so-called nonprofits in those days before the nonprofit. NFL's a nonprofit. Before they changed the tax code in the 90s, the contract on America and Dennis Hastert, freaking the moral majority, fucking changed all the laws. So what are they going to block? The United States. Now this is a morality issue. Absolute morality issue. I like how you all call yourselves Christians. When you're enslaving people right where Jesus Christ, well, right where the Bible was written in East Turkey, I mean, slavery is totally illegal. Indonesia, Barry Antoinette Obama, fucking slave owner. Bill Walmart Clinton, Bush. You know, we'll see on Trump, huh? He's a socialist. Navarro's a socialist, an admitted socialist. So what are we going to retaliate with? What are we going to retaliate with? What are China going to retaliate, which is nothing but American business people. These are globalists who gutted labor here at $40, $50 an hour, right here in Ogden, Utah, right here, American canned, and then just, whoop, same owners went over there, 17 cents an hour. It's a real easy matrix. I used to draw it out in my classroom. I says we have 100 million at the maximum. We have about 80 million workforce in the United States. The world has close to 2 billion. The average freaking hourly wage at the time in the United States was $14.57 an hour. The average freaking wage on Earth was fucking 37 cents an hour. You dilute 2 billion into 80 million and see where wages are going in this country. And that was in 90s, in 94 when Bill Walmart Clinton signed after the greatest gut shot. Navarro fucking ran in 91 as the socialist. This whole thing was going. Ross Perot, poof, Ross Perot fucking almost won here in Utah. Same platform. They all said swoosh. They had it right. Look at the trading balance post. I mean, this is not commentary. This is just facts, facts. So they're going to put a tariff on hate, on children in cages. They're going to put a tariff on ignorance. They're going to put a tariff on depleted uranium. They're going to play it on globalization, war. They're going to put a tariff on militarism, colonialism. You know, that's all we export. Pork. Really? Pork? So, that's where they put the Weber States ethics, right there. Dig it up. Kevin Blanche exposing it. They took my degrees away from me, all of them. I was an adjunct. They could have paid for my cancer treatment. I was a millionaire. Had all that Tesla stock. I mean, 6 months ago, I told you short you eat 32. These arrests are a big deal. Navarro is a socialist. I know him personally. He ran in San Diego as the socialist. He almost won. I wish he would have. That's back when we were fierce environmentalists. I mean, the greatest people in the world were San Diegans. And here in Weber County, they're fantastic. The environmentalist community, they weren't hippie crits, well petters. Oh no, they'd pull out the 30-30. You know, after they went and bet on their own horse at Del Mar, where the surf meets the turf. Now, I mean, San Diegans were the greatest. As Donna calls me in the hearings, they shut down and said, Aubrey, whatever would have happened without Kevin Blanche? She calls me. Kevin Blanche, the last San Diegan. Stand tuned. Is Trump a closet socialist? Oh yeah, economically he's a socialist. Philosophically, socially, he's a fucking racist, sick fucker. Oh man, Trump, I can't pay the rent. Navarro is a socialist. Go tariffs. I'm a big tariff guy. Go San Diego. San Diego needs to wake up. If anybody who should be putting tariffs and promoting this, San Diego. Peter Navarro is a San Diegan, the great professor. He's a socialist. He's a socialist. I've done this work in this historic library. Edward Abbey's quote that Navarro used to quote in San Diego. Growth for the sake of growth is the ideology of cancer. He did it right here, from the landscape to the library. Same place I have, in the name of Father K. Brody. Stand tuned.